sends a big orange welcome to our guests from Memphis with their fight song, Go Tigers Go! Now, for all our Big Orange fans, here's Rocky Top. This year, the Pride of the Southland Band celebrates 103 years of performances at UT football games. But before we learn to sing Rocky Top, we got behind the balls with March On, Mighty Ball.
Is D'Angelo Williams for Memphis. Started the season on everybody's All-American list. And for the Tennessee Volunteers, it may be in the hands of a redshirt freshman, Arian Foster, who's averaging almost 5 yards per carry and has been outstanding after stepping in for the injured Gerald Riggs. Tennessee and Memphis coming up next. I don't know that I've ever seen a better football day than this. Absolutely perfect. Comfortable temperature in the 60s, bright sunshine, and two rivals going after each other, and two teams trying to salvage something out of this year. Let's take a look at the history of this series. One-sided, Tennessee 18-1, but that one Memphis win in '96 was absolutely huge. They're still talking about that one in West Tennessee, and Tennessee's still talking about the severity of that loss that year. And as we talked about the weather, there you see Old Glory and the state flag, 66 degrees, 70% wind, very light, not a factor at all, and just clear skies. And the weather will be just ideal for this football game today against the backdrop of the beautiful leaves here in East Tennessee. Well, Tennessee has had a season under Phil Fulmer that's been somewhat disappointing. There's a man who played at Tennessee, Tommy West, in the mid-70s, was an outstanding tight end here, and also was a good baseball player. Hit over 300 for the Tennessee baseball team. But right now, his heart is in Memphis. Tommy West, head coach of the Memphis Tigers. Philip Fulmer had a nightmare season. He started the year ranked number 3 in the nation, picked by most everybody to win the SEC. They are just suffering through a lot of disappointments. There are many things you can point to, Terrence. Quarterback play has not been good. Both Clausen and Ainge have been off the mark this year. The receivers have not played well. The offensive line has not, especially in run blocking, been that good. But the defense has kept them in the ball games, given them a chance to win. Special teams play has also been a problem.
I think the one bright spot, and we talked about this at the beginning of the ball game, has been the defense, and a lot of areas for improvement for Tennessee in the next 3 ball games. And Philip Fulmer says the team understands what they have to do to become bowl eligible, but before you can win 6, you have to win 4.
R.G. Detillier is the referee today. This crew is from Conference USA. It's Joseph Doss and Ernest Williams deep to receive for Memphis. Kicking off for Tennessee will be James Wilhoit, who has had a good year kicking off. A lot of kicks have gone deep into the checkerboard here at Neyland Stadium, which is something the coaches love, and no chance for a return. Tennessee goes in a heavy favorite today, but they were a heavy favorite in Memphis when the Tigers won. It's about a yard deep in the end zone, and Memphis is coming out of there with it. A little bit of a crease. It closes down quickly by the Orange, though. Joseph Doss is knocked down by Ryan Carl, backup linebacker for the University of Tennessee. The Memphis offense taking a look at these. Billingsley, Handy, Smith, Pierce, Shue. These are undersized guys compared to Tennessee. Maurice Avery is the quarterback. By the way, this is the 4th quarterback Memphis has used this year because of injuries, and headed up, of course, by the great D'Angelo Williams, who is truly going to be a Sunday football player. Snap goes direct. Pitch inside. A little shuffle pass inside. Tennessee's defense closes it down, led by Jason Hall. Joseph Doss knocked down. Tennessee's defense, and we cannot say enough good things about them. Harris Harrelson, the specialty, has been outstanding, as has Jason Hall at the other end. Malona and Harrell have played very well in the middle as well. Memphis, Joseph Doss, the only running back. They'll go with a 1-back set and usually use 4 receivers, which they have out there right now, 2 on each side.
Interesting for Memphis, their first 2 plays, D'Angelo Williams is not in the ballgame.
Throw it out in the flat to the 20, the 22, and almost to the 25 before Ryan Scott, wide receiver, is knocked down. Marvin Mitchell was there defensively for Tennessee.
And there you see Williams on the sideline trying to warm up.
It looks like that Kevin Simon is not out there right now, and he has been banged up a little bit. We'll see if he plays much. He is there on the field right now. And there's been a little bit of a question mark about him. D'Angelo Williams, though, is the man to watch for Memphis, because he is an exciting player who had a chance last year to go out for the draft and probably would have been a very high pick, but chose to return. This time they run that shuffle pass inside again, and it's incomplete. I think it goes as a pass anyway, not a, he of course dropped it, so it's just an incomplete pass. Omar Gaither smothered it in there. Let's take another look at it, Terrence.
Yeah, they're going to go with a shovel pass, and just a bad pitch. Offensive lineman fell down in front of the running back, so play may have not gone, it may have gone for a no gain anyway, but definitely a bad toss, or would you say a bad pass?
Bad pass. Low and outside.
Interesting, D'Angelo Williams still on the sideline. Joseph Doss is the running back in the 1-back set.
They roll back this time and look deep, going to turn it loose. Tennessee down there defensively pretty well covered and almost intercepted by Tennessee, as a matter of fact. Jonathan Hefney was there defensively on Maurice Jones. Hefney step by step with him.
Nice play by Jonathan Hefney, but at the end of the play, maybe a question as to whether or not he was face guarding the wide receiver. We'll see at the end.
Avery now 2 of 4 for 10 yards throwing the football.
End of the play, but I guess the ref said a no call.
3rd down and 10. First big play for the Tennessee defense, big play for the Memphis offense. Here in Neyland Stadium, it's homecoming on the hill in Knoxville. There are a few empty seats. The paid attendance will be the figure that we will get today, or the paid tickets, but the attendance probably will be below what it normally is. Here's a pass complete up to the 39-yard line. John Doucette Kevin Simon, the middle linebacker, was there to make the stop, but not until he moved the chains. Third down has been a big play for Tennessee defensively. It's not been good.
It has in Memphis
This year on that particular down.
And most of the offenses this year that have given this Tennessee defense some trouble have been offenses where the quarterback has had the ability to roll out and throw the football. You remember UAB, Georgia, those quarterbacks are very mobile quarterbacks.
They run fake a reverse and run up the middle this time. Justin Harris shadows over part of the field, the press box, and Sweets are shadowing part of the field. Avery lobs it downfield, a timing pattern which Tennessee plays perfectly. And no chance. Inky Johnson was there on Ryan Scott. Johnson's one of those youngsters that you have a feeling is going to really be a star before he leaves here.
He has, and Jason Allen has really taken Inky Johnson under his wing and really talks to him during the week and tries to coach him up and teach him techniques and things like that. But Inky Johnson is becoming a very good defensive back and developing some confidence. I think he's going to be a good player for Tennessee down the road.
Tennessee's pattern very good on first and second down, sometimes trouble on third. Here comes a 3rd and 8. And the official blows his whistle and stops play momentarily. Now we're set to go. They operate out of the gun this time with a lot of receivers in the pattern, looking for help. Being chased. Tennessee's going to run him down. Jason Hall, great pursuit by Jason Hall, who, as I said, has had a really outstanding year. Maurice Avery could not escape the big youngster at defensive end. Wound up losing 6.
You're right. You're going to see Jesse Mahalona apply the initial pressure, force him out of the pocket, and right into the hands of Jason Hall, who is having an incredible second half of the season.
So it'll be punt formation for Memphis. Michael Gibson will be back there to kick, and Jonathan Hefty will be back to receive. No score in this ball game in Knoxville. Homecoming on the hill. The kick is away, and it's a pretty good one for the sidelines. It's fielded by Hefty, and he cuts up the sideline. Not much room, but did fight to get a little something extra out of it. 53-yard kick that time by Memphis. Tigers have a couple of games remaining on their schedule. Southern Miss and Marshall. Tennessee, of course, has Vanderbilt coming in here next week for their final home game. Then they play the Kentucky Wildcats in Lexington. So Tennessee winding up with 2 in-state rivals and their oldest rival in the football series, the Kentucky Wildcats. So they can win these 3, then maybe get a bowl bid and win there. But tell you what, it's still going to be a disappointing year for the ball fans, but they're trying to salvage something. Volunteers on offense, Sears, Smith, Ligon, Douglas, and Tawina are the men up front, and they're all huge. Ainge will open at quarterback. Arian Foster at tailback. Corey Anderson, the big fullback. The receivers, Hannon, Meacham, and Chris Brown will be the tight end. Terrence, you played receiver at Tennessee, and you played on some pretty good football teams. What's your assessment? What's the problem of the Tennessee receivers this year? What's happening?
I think, first of all, I think to play the position at wide receiver, I think you have to have a lot of confidence. So I think the problem of dropping balls at crucial situations in ball games really doesn't do anything for their confidence. And then the position is not only a position of speed and strength, but it's also a position of technique and discipline. And I think in those 2 areas, I think these wide receivers are a little bit underachieving when it comes to this group still has a chance. It's a very young group, chance to be a memorable group of wide receivers at the University of Tennessee.
Eric Ainge will be at quarterback. Arian Foster will be behind him. Big Anderson at fullback. Tennessee sets 2 receivers on the right this time. And Ainge, who's got a world of ability, but still it just hasn't quite clicked on all cylinders for him this season. Foster cuts back, tries to find something there, and not much is there. He's going to wind up with about a 3-yard gain before Tim Goodwell, the inside linebacker, made the stop for Memphis. It's set that Tennessee's looking at. This time Foster does find a little running room and gets across the 25 up to about the 26 or 27-yard line. Arian Foster, it would appear to me, has a brilliant future here at Tennessee. Mike Snyder, by the way, made the stop that time. It is enough for a first down as they move the chains. But Foster's got a He's got great footwork, for instance. I think that jumps out at you first when you see him run.
Very good footwork, runs hard, has good vision. The one knock on him is that he does put the ball on the ground, but that's something that he's working on. One thing that I think he lacks is the ability for the big play. But I think that he's going to be a very good running back for Tennessee.
C.J. Bates went in motion, and they hand it off to Foster, who cuts outside, then back inside. Now that's an example of his vision. Not much there, but he was looking.
If Tennessee's going to get on track, this is a wonderful opportunity for them.
Tennessee's offensive line, too, has a tremendous weight advantage over Memphis defense. Ainge back to throw. Fires the ball. It's picked off. Not a wise decision on that one. Wesley's Ainge numbers on the year. Got a great arm. He turns it loose this time. It's going to be complete, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. Headed out to C.J. Payton out in the flat. He picked up 6 yards, but he needed about 2 more. O.C. Collins was there defensively for Memphis.
And these are some of the questions that pop up about this offense. You need 8 yards for a first down, but you
bottom of the conference in total yardage punting, but that's a misnomer because he has done a great job of placing the football this year. Against South Carolina, for instance, he gave them every chance in the world to win the football game. Great punt this time, fielded by Memphis, but nowhere to go for Brandon McDonald. 51 yards on the kick. Omar Gaither made the stop. We're in the first quarter here in Knoxville. Homecoming on the hill. There is no score. Memphis and Tennessee. You're watching CSS, your source for sports in the Southeast.
My name is Izzy Paskowitz, and I've been running surf camps for autistic kids for 7 years.
There seems to be no injury problem. Here's Avery rolling and throwing complete. Up to the 40 and beyond. Knocked out of bounds on a cutback, and it works beautifully. Cutting against the grain. He dropped the ball, but he was already down. Kevin Simon hit Joseph Doss as he cut back against the grain. Trying to take advantage of Tennessee's pursuit that time.
Exactly.
Over pursuit.
Over pursuit and speed on defense, and a nice job of finding the seam by Dawson. You wonder about if there's an injury to D'Angelo Williams, because that's the kind of play that Williams takes to the end zone.
That is exactly right. He would have still been running. They bring a man in motion. They send it right up the middle this time and cross down over the 45 or 2 yards a day, averaging 5 yards per pop. Maurice Avery standing up. He's the 4th quarterback Memphis has used this year. Tennessee is virtually unbeatable in the month of November since '85. They're 75-6. They fake the pitch. Quarterback keeps it on a nice fake and runs out of bounds. Jonathan Hepney was there to force him out of bounds. Volunteers defense kind of reeling right now. They're using a lot of motion, a lot of fakes. This time Avery on the sideline turned nothing into a little something, and Quan Stewart finally ran him out of bounds, but he did show some real athletic ability in turning that into a little bit of a gain. Omar Gaither was also there to push him out.
Exactly. Omar Gaither's going to do a good job of trying to force his hand, and his athletic ability allows him, as you said, to struggle and fight for a 5-yard pickup when initially there was nothing there.
It'll be second down for Memphis and about 7 yards to go with the ball on the Tennessee 30-yard line. Volunteer defense trying to dig in early here. Crowd pretty quiet on this sun-baked day in East Tennessee. This time they use a full house backfield. Avery in trouble. Got away from one man, got away from another. Tennessee missed about 3 tackles on that one. Angelo Williams is still on the sidelines. It's a 3rd and 3, and this would be a play. Goes into the gun, takes it, stands back. Not much pressure. Gets his pass away. It was there, and the receiver dropped it. Maurice Jones. Tennessee putting a little pressure on it, but probably should have caught it. Antoine Stewart was coming up on his back defensively, so Tennessee does stop them this time.
No question that was a catchable ball right in the hands, exactly where you want to throw it. Good throw from the quarterback, Avery, and you see Tommy West saying, hey, we need those kind of plays. If you're going to play ball for me, you got to make those kind of plays.
Stephen Gostkowski will attempt the field goal. and it will be a 43-yard effort. Kicking from the shade into the sun. Down, the kick is on the way, and it is good. Memphis draws first blood here in Knoxville, taking a 3-0 lead on a event. Tennessee fans, like the players and coaches, disappointed with the season. Memphis not disappointed with that kick, about 5 yards beyond the checkerboard, so Tennessee will bring it out and put it in play at the 20-yard line. And now the spotlight is on the Tennessee offense. They need to do something. The defense did stop the Memphis drive, but they did give up 3 points. But Tennessee offensively in the first series just really looked sort of inept, to be honest with you, and that's been kind of the story of the season for Tennessee.
I agree with you, and if you're Memphis, you have to feel really good about having a 3-0 lead, and your best football player, as you said, being on the sideline for much of this first quarter.
Haynes hands off to his tailback, Arian Foster. He crosses the 20 to maybe the 23-yard line before the middle of the Tiger defense brings him down. Arian Foster had a very good game in his last outing against Notre Dame. There's the Tigers scoring drive. 8 plays, covered 55 yards, and here was the big play.
The big play that got the whole scoring drive started. Nice throw, good catch to the wide receiver, Ryan Scott. And Memphis offensively has been able to do a lot on this Tennessee defense today.
Back to the live action. Memphis intercepts Brandon McDonald down the sidelines. Still on his feet and finally knocked down on the Tennessee 25-yard line. Wow. Eric Haynes' pass was intended for Swain. Brandon McDonald stepped in and took it away and returned it nicely down the side of the field in great field position for Memphis.
Tennessee offensively decided to take a shot down the field, and I think the ball was underthrown by Eric Haynes. Not a lot on the football, kind of wobbly, and a great play by the defensive back, Brandon McDonald from Memphis.
37 yards, Terrence, on the return. So Memphis right back in action right here, ready to knock on the goal line again for the Tigers. Maurice Avery rolls back, wants to throw, does throw. It is incomplete. Tennessee covered it quite well that time. John Doucette was vision for Avery. He's 4 of 9 for 50 yards in this ball game thus far. And we're in the first quarter. 4 minutes 40 to go. The handoff and down to about the 21-yard line. Kevin Simon hits Joseph Doss at that point. Kevin Simon has had a very solid year for Tennessee at middle linebacker. There he is, number 2.
Very active at the linebacker position. Really, you like to see Kevin Simon have this kind of year. His whole career here at Tennessee has been marked by injuries, and it's just awesome to see Kevin Simon, that has a tremendous passion for the ball game, be able to play an injury-free season.
Big down right here. Memphis is 1 of 3 on 3rd down. They won't make it this time. Omar Gaither really stuck. Jason Hall. Joseph Doss was there. I think Hall was the primary man. There he is. We talked earlier about what a year he has had. It's been a kind of a quiet year for him, too. Paris Harrelson on the other side is going to try another field goal. And this one is 37 yards out. And it is also good. So he's hit 2 now. And Memphis leads 6-0 here in Knoxville. And the Tennessee crowd was kind of quiet to begin the game, and they're really quiet right now, except for the Memphis folks. Another fantastic kickoff through the end zone. No chance for any kind of return, not even a chance to field it. So Tennessee will pull it out to the 20, put it in play, first down and 10. And now, once again, the spotlight goes on the Tennessee offense, which is yet to do anything significant in this game. Tennessee takes on Vanderbilt here next week, which will be their final home game of the year. They wind up the season at Kentucky. Vanderbilt game, I think, will be a 12:30 start. The Kentucky game is a little bit up in the air right now as to when it will start. Here's the handoff to Foster. Foster finds a hole at right tackle and dances through close to the 30-yard line. He may be just about a half a yard shy of a first down. O.C. Collins from linebacker spot, left cornerback actually, made the stop that time for the Tigers. Picked up 9 yards on that play.
And a nice job of Aaron Foster having good vision, allowing the play, good patience, allowing the play to develop.
Tigers scoring drive, 4 plays, culminated in a field goal. They pick up the first down this time as the ball is taken out to the 39-yard line.
Take another look at the interception. As we said, they're
as they do pick up a first down. Ainge keeps it on the ground. Foster dancing and looking for running room, and just on his own picks up a couple of yards. That's an example of a back who has good vision and will, well, not necessarily hold there, but he will pick up a little yardage.
And you're right.
8-yard line, he's 2nd down and 6. He gets the call again. This time a flag goes down. On to the left. Passing all the way. Ainge rolls and looks. Running out of time, and Field throws another interception. Memphis takes over on the interception, and they're going to be in good field position once again. There's a flag down, so let's hold everything. The players now are huddling around the official on the far side of the field, right in front of the Tennessee bench.
Number 10, defense. 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, first down.
Personal foul on Carlton Baker.
Eric Ainge just got a huge early Christmas gift. The pass that he threw down the field, I don't know who it was intended for, but it was a terrible pass. Tennessee's going to get the football back because of a personal foul roughing the passer, but
C.J. Payton was in the neighborhood. Let's take a look. I think he was the intended receiver.
He's the intended receiver, but there's no one in the area where Eric Ainge throws the football.
Wow. You're right. A good break for Tennessee. Tough break for the Memphis Tigers right there on the personal foul by Baker. Ainge sticks it in the stomach of Arian Foster. It's a good hole right at the line of scrimmage. They opened it up, and he stepped through for some pretty positive yardage just shy of the 50. Michael Spurlock made the
play that Eric Ainge just made, the interception, that's the kind of play that he's had. That's the way he's played all year. And there's been a lot of talk about what's wrong with Eric Ainge. Is it his confidence? Is it the fact that they didn't decide on a quarterback earlier in the year? Who knows what it is, but he's just not playing well at the quarterback position for Tennessee.
Foster steps through close to a first down, maybe not quite there, as he's knocked down in Memphis territory by Carlton Baker. He got two out there, but really nobody knows except Philip Fulmer and perhaps Mike Hamilton, the athletic director. Nothing much there. Memphis closes it down. Really needed something positive to happen right there. And you hear a smattering of boos rippling through the crowd right here. End of the quarter here in Knoxville on homecoming at Rocky Top. Memphis Tigers 6, Tennessee Volunteers nothing. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. 2 here in Knoxville. Memphis leading Tennessee by a score of 6-0. The Vols came in about an 18.5-point favorite, but Memphis has dominated offensively here in the first half. Tennessee's defense has played decent football, but the offense has done really nothing much. And there you see the situation. First downs, Tennessee only 3. And in passing yardage, a grand total of 6 in this first quarter of play. Memphis with a 2-minute advantage almost in time of possession. 6-0, Memphis leading. And the crowd kind of stunned right here at the play thus far in this ball game. The play of the Volunteers. It is homecoming. The grads are back, and probably the grads are not happy right now. Colquitt will be punting, standing at his 37-yard line, gets the kick away. It's a high one. Signal for a fair catch and taken at the 15-yard line by Brandon McDonald. So Memphis goes back on offense, still without their great tailback. 34-yard punt. So Memphis has got a 6-0 lead without D'Angelo Williams and operating with their 4th quarterback of the year because of injuries.
And as we talked about, he is a converted wide receiver, but been really impressed thus far with the play of Maurice Avery. I think for Tennessee, I think the defense is really going to have to create some kind of momentum for this football team. Tennessee defense needs to create a turnover and give the offense some very good field position.
Avery, by the way, 6'1", weighs about 216 pounds. He hands off to his tailback, and they run straight up the middle this time. Kevin Simon hit Joseph Doss after a short game, closer to 5, so it was not a bad run at all. Twisted for a last yard there and running hard. Early second quarter, Memphis 6-0. Perfect football day. Shadows have just about covered 80% of the field right now, but across the way the sun still brightly shines, and from the 20-yard line on in it shines. Avery will operate in the shotgun. Stands up, fakes, now throws. Got a man out there. Doucette up his 4 yards. Very solid.
What he does is he throws the ball short, and his wide receiver knows that. Maurice Jones knows that this is a short throw, so he's able to make a play on the football, although it's thrown behind him. Great throw and catch.
Got 17 on this one. First down and 10 to go for a driving Memphis Tiger team. Avery gives it off on the reverse. There's the big yardage again, down to the 10, inside the 10. Still driving, and almost to the 5-yard line goes Taz Knockham. What a great football name that is. Taz Knockham. 19 yards. See Volunteers. They fake that reverse this time, and Avery rolls to his right, still rolling, and it's going to be knocked down finally by Kevin Simon. Simon, because of his speed, was able to catch him and knock him out of bounds without getting into the end zone, so he winds up maybe 3 yards on the
coming into this ball game.
This will be the 8th play of this drive, and it's really been rather easy for Memphis to move downfield, to be honest with you, as you have seen. 11-10 remaining in this first half of play. The Tigers up 6-0 and threatening to add more.
And I think the play clock is they're just gonna get it off.
He throws, really just threw it away. He had a great rush on him that time. Antonio Reynolds was in rushing, and so Avery just kind of tossed it out there in the back of the end zone and wisely threw it away.
Wisely throws it away. I think this play may have been dead from the get-go, and he just wisely throws it out of bounds, and they're able to line up and go for another try.
Actually, there was no receiver really for Memphis in the neighborhood that time. Memphis 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions. Here they are, 3rd. There's a timeout going to be called right here. 10 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the first half of play here in Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Your score is Memphis 6, Tennessee nothing. Memphis threatening. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. There's a man who's searching for the answers right now, and he hasn't found them, to be honest with you. Coach Philip Fulmer. His team is down 6-0 and about to be down more. 3rd down and 4. The defensive coordinator, John Chavis. Tennessee defense for the first time this year looks like they are very lethargic.
Very lethargic. We talked about it before the ball game, that this has been one of the strengths of this football team, and they ball game just not looking like the Tennessee defense we're accustomed to seeing.
Not playing with a lot of fire at the moment. Let's see if that changes. On a 3rd and 4. Avery from the gun. Rolling to his left. Still looking. Cuts it back in. He's down 2 and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Maurice Avery scores for Memphis and runs it out now to a 12-0 score with the extra point coming up. Tell you what, he kind of made it look easy at the last second, as you'll see right here.
Nice job by Maurice Avery, keeping the play alive, scrambling, getting into the end zone.
Tennessee not coming up to make contact until he'd already crossed the goal line or was right on the goal line.
And as we talked about, Memphis is doing this without their best football player on the field.
They try for the extra point. It's up there, and it is good. And Memphis now leads by a score of 13-0. Remember, they came in here almost a 3-touchdown underdog. This Tennessee football team has been struggling all year offensively, and now as of today, we can officially say the defense is struggling. You're watching Tennessee and Memphis on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Times down there instead of running.
Sometimes you're right, looking like they're just going through the motions, but expect John Chavis to get that corrected.
Demetrius Morley, a yard deep into the checkerboard, comes out of there with it. Looking for running room. There's just not much there. They swarm him under just shy of the 15-yard line. 15 yards on the return, but give him credit. He was trying.
He was trying, and at the return spot, what you want is you don't want a whole lot of indecision, and Demetrius Morley, a true freshman on this football team, just trying to make something happen.
There's the Tiger scoring drive, and again a look at Terrence at the touchdown.
Very athletic quarterback. Nothing there, able to get outside the pocket, and his legs put him in the end zone.
Tennessee starts out here first down and 10 to go on the 15-yard line. Rick Clausen has come in at quarterback. Rick Clausen, the senior at quarterback. The left-hander looks, he fires, he's got a man out there, complete. On the sidelines, there's Chris Hammond. Question is, did he step out of bounds? And he did, right around the 36-yard line. 21 yards, so Clausen comes in with a positive play on his first play, and let's see if he can follow up on that.
Nice play action throw by Rick Clausen, and he's done this a number of times this year, come off the sideline and ignited this Tennessee offense.
All right, it's now a 1st and 10 situation. Nothing doing this time. Flag defensively. Well, the defense, which had been a bright spot, has faltered just about as poorly as the offense today. Clausen is now operating at quarterback. He is a senior. Ames, of course, will return next year. John Crompton is a youngster who sat out this year with shoulder surgery, but he will be here in the competition next year. There's a long pass intended for perhaps the Tennessee bench, because those were the only players close to it.
I don't know if it's miscommunication or the fact that the ball just floated on Rick Clausen, but both of the Tennessee quarterbacks, when they miss, boy, do they miss. He's throwing for Brett Smith, but that ball is 10 yards beyond Brett Smith.
Brett Smith gave up on that one before it was ever 10 yards away from the quarterback's hand. 9 minutes, 55 seconds to go in the first half. Memphis up 13-0 over a sputtering Tennessee team. Clausen operates out of the shotgun, stands up, looks, throws out in the flat, threw it a little too high. Intended for C.J. Payton, maybe catchable, but had he caught it, there was nowhere to go.
Yes, Memphis defended barreling down on C.J. Payton, so it may be a good thing that he didn't catch this ball.
Probably would have lost yardage. Another look.
Nothing downfield. He's going to go to the dump off the C.
And on 3rd downs, there's your situation. Memphis 2 of 5. Tennessee's zip for 1. Out of the shotgun. Maximum protection. Again, high, wide, and handsome on the. Should be in real good field position after this kick. Colquitt will stand at his 10-yard line to kick. McDonald comes up, signals for, takes it on a fair catch at the 35. Avery back to throw, looking, being chased. He's in trouble. He finally throws it away and wisely gets it out of bounds right in front of the Tennessee coaching staff over there. Harris Harrelson was one of the men running him down.
Harris Harrelson applying the pressure in the Tennessee bench, and they're lobbying for a flag.
There he is, the SEC active career sack leader, a senior. He will be missed. No flag. The referees, officials converged and had a discussion, but there's no flag on the play. Ball will be spotted just across the football length, across the 35-yard line. At that point, it becomes 2nd down and 10 to go for the Tigers. Crowd a little bit surly here in Knoxville, and perhaps they have a reason to be. Avery in the shotgun. Hands off to his tailback. Tennessee right on top of this one. Defense looking good there with Paris Harrelson and Kevin Simon. A couple of seniors knocking down Joseph Doss.
Defense playing with a little more sense of urgency, and as I expected, John Chavis probably had a nice conversation with his defense when they went to the sideline. And you see here early in this drive, that defense is playing with more spirit.
A little bit more on D'Angelo Williams. He tweaked his ankle against UAB last week. It was limited in practice this week, we're told. It was a game-time decision not to start him. It is uncertain as to whether he will play today. Right now, they don't need him.
Well, you'd have to think that in a game like this, your best football player would want to be on the field, so there's something to the injury to D'Angelo Williams.
Maurice Avery.
Last 4 ball games, he dropped the ball on the ground in 3 out of 4 last ball games. So Philip Fulmer opting to go with Jonathan Hefner as his return guy.
Hefner fields it, starts up the middle, sees some daylight, gets to the outside. Got one man to beat, and that man closed in on him and knocked him out of bounds, but a terrific return and a spark of life for Tennessee as Jonathan Hefner returns the kick. Brett Russell, the tight end on special teams, made the stop. Another look.
No indecision by Jonathan Hefner. He takes a moment to set up the return and explodes through with a nice pickup, a nice gain.
49-yard punt, a 37-yard return by Jonathan Hefner.
And Tennessee offense starts with great field position.
Clausen will be operating at quarterback. 7:37 remaining in the first half of play here in Knoxville. Tennessee trailing Memphis 13-0. Pass is complete out in the flat to Corey Anderson, the big fullback, and he gets right at midfield before he is knocked down. He got 7 yards on the carry, on the pass. Corey Anderson's numbers on the year.
And Corey Anderson also one of those guys that they were expecting a lot out of this season based on what he did last season. And his season this year thus far has been a little disappointing also. He laid the ball on the ground in the crucial drive against Alabama and has dropped some passes, some big passes throughout the football season.
That would have been huge plays. There's a nice handoff. Nice run down to the 40-yard line. Tennessee moving with Arian Foster, finally dragged down by the free safety Wesley Smith, but he got 10.
Nice blocking by the Tennessee offensive line. You're going to see Rob Smith out leading for Arian Foster, a good block that allows Foster to break through and pick up a good gain.
Got to have the feeling there was a heart-to-heart talk on the sidelines during that last timeout. We'll see if it pays off right here.
Well, based on the way the quarterbacks have played, I think Tennessee's made a commitment to try to run the football.
They throw long. Receiver there. Touchdown! Joseph Briscoe. Flag, though, in the end zone. It may be interference on Memphis. But it appears to be a touchdown to the freshman, Josh Briscoe. Briscoe is 6'3", 174, and really is a burner. You saw it right there.
Interference. Defense.
And not
Penalty refused. Touchdown.
Penalty refused against Memphis, of course. Another look. Now watch this kid run.
Play action. Not a great throw by Rick Clausen. Josh Briscoe does a good job of making a play on the football. He fights his way around the defensive back, Brandon McDonald, and makes an exceptional play on the football.
I know what the fans are saying. Hey, let's take a look at some of those freshmen. It's that time. There's the kick up by James Wilhoit. It is good, and Tennessee gets on the board and gets a spark of life here. Thanks to a Clausen to Briscoe pass. Another look at this one.
Play action pass. Rick Clausen's going to throw this ball inside, but Josh Briscoe is going to fight for position to make a play on the ball. And a huge play for the Tennessee offense, and that's what's been missing this year from the Tennessee wide receivers, making plays on the football when the throws aren't that great.
You know, there's not a quarterback that I've ever seen in my life that was perfect on every throw. Even the great Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, whoever you want to point out. You just throw the ball in the neighborhood sometimes, and the receiver has to go get it. You know that, Terrence.
You do. And at Tennessee, the belief is that if the ball is in the air, it belongs to you. So you compete and you fight for the football, and you win most of the battles when you carry that kind of attitude into the football game.
And if you've got that kind of attitude, it prevents an interception, too.
You're exactly right. I think wide receivers need to be aggressive, and you see the best wide receivers in the game at the NFL level, the Terrell Owens, the Jerry Rice. Those wide receivers are aggressive in going after the football.
Yeah, they're kind of like linebackers. You've got to have a nasty disposition, to be honest with you, to play that position and play it effectively. That was Briscoe's third catch of the season. Boy, did it come at an opportune time. We've got 6:25 remaining in the first half in Knoxville. Tennessee 7, Memphis 13. Happy Mr. Briscoe right here. Now, a look here at him go for the football. This is how you do it.
Not a great throw. Actually, the defensive back has better position and actually grabs Briscoe's arms, but his determination, his concentration, his desire to come up with the play, he comes home with the touchdown.
Well, remember, there was a flag and there was interference, so he still caught it with interference.
Exactly.
And that speaks well for the freshman. I'd like to see more of him.
And that's huge for Josh Briscoe, because coming into this ball game, what he was going to be remembered for was the big third down against Georgia, where he laid the ball on the ground and stopped the drive.
That's the longest touchdown play of the season for Tennessee. It covered 39 yards. You know, offense all around this conference is experiencing a down year, not just Tennessee. I don't know that we have any real, like the Mannings and the Joe Namaths and the Bo Jacksons and the Herschel Walkers. Some coaches, and I think Spurrier's one of them, believes more and more of the better players are going on defense right now. But you take Alabama, for instance. Here's a team that is unbeaten, yet they've got 2 wins when they did not score an offensive touchdown. So that just tells you about the offense in this conference in general. Out of the end zone and will be brought in to put in play. Auburn and Georgia renewed the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Memphis now, after giving up the touchdown, leading 13-7. Still quite a bit of time in this quarter. 6:25 to go in quarter number 2. Avery keeps it, goes to his left and picks up some positive yardage out to about the 23.5-yard line. Jonathan Hepney ran him out. 8 rushes. Pretty good for a quarterback who used to be a receiver. Memphis really been racked by injuries at that position this year. But they're not complaining. They're plugging along. Here's Avery, keeping it, turning it back against the grain, still fighting for yardage across the 25, 26-yard line. Tennessee's defense trying to dig in here. Omar Gaither on the day and on the year. He's a senior. They will miss him. He's one of those 60-minute guys. He doesn't stop.
Play clock down to 3 seconds. They may not get this off.
They apparently did get it off, and they're going to get a first down out of it. Out Era, tight end,
And a
good baseball player, too.
exactly, and an assistant on Philip Fulmerstadt. So he's in very familiar territory here in Neyland Stadium.
And a good bit of running by Memphis in the middle, all the way up. Sure of his health, so they're holding him out right now. They're trying to sneak for that yard they needed. It's going to be close. Antonio Reynolds got in and submarine Maurice Avery there, and 6,000 or 7,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. They probably sold around 105,000 or more tickets, but they're not all here. Tennessee rides him down. Ernest Williams, ridden down by Jonathan Hepney, who right now probably would be the MVP in this ball game.
Jonathan Hepney all over the field for Tennessee, and Tennessee defense will be just doing a good job of shutting down the play.
So it's going to be a second down for Memphis. And about 10 yards to go, no gain on it. Ball at the 45-yard line of the Memphis Tigers. There's Hepney, who has done his part today. 3:18 and the clock running in the first half. Memphis not in any particular hurry right now, sitting on a 13-7 lead. Snap goes back to the quarterback at tailback position, really, and he throws incomplete. It was in the hands of Ryan Scott. Probably should have held on. Tennessee coming over the top that time. Rashawn Fellows, but it goes incomplete.
Rashawn Fellows is in the coverage, but a nice throw by Maurice Avery. He throws this inside, and Ryan Scott should come up with this football. Hits him right in the hands. And maybe Rashawn Fellows is able to get a hand in to break up the pass, but hit Ryan Scott right in the hands.
8th play of the drive coming up. There's Rashawn Fellows, sophomore out of Arkansas. Here comes a 3rd and 10. Snap to the quarterback, direct snap, and he's going to come up short of the first down. He did pick up positive yardage before Omar Gaither and Jason Hall closed in on him. He got 6 yards, and remember, he needed 10. So it'll bring up a 4th down for the Memphis Tigers. They will be kicking right now. What a day Kevin Simon is having. 11 tackles already from his middle linebacker spot. You take he and Hall and Hefney off of this defense right now, you could have some real serious problems.
But Kevin Simon is one of those players you never have to question whether or not he's going to bring his A game to the football field. He loves to play football, does a lot of film study, works hard in the weight room. He is an old style football player.
I think we'll be seeing him on Sundays next year. So it's a 4th down and 4, and Michael Gibson will stand back to punt for Memphis. Officials had called a timeout right here.
Number 34, offense, 5 yards.
Delay of game, rather meaningless at this stage up the field right here.
And I think it was a design delay of game.
Just to run the clock down.
Yes.
The attendance today, and I'm not sure that there's this many people in here, but these tickets were sold. 106,647.
If they're
yeah, maybe not.
I don't think so.
Another flag.
Ball start. Offense. Number 6. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Now, I don't think that was by design.
No, Jermaine Jonathan Hefney is standing back at his 18-yard line. Here's the kick away. And it's a nice one. It's going to back Hefney up. And I thought he signaled for a fair catch, and he did.
It's a wonder he doesn't draw a penalty.
He took off after the 53-yard punt. Kind of half-hearted takeoff, but he did start running after signaling for a fair catch.
And most of the times that will draw a penalty. Signal for the fair catch and then running with the football.
Remaining in the first half, it's Tennessee 7, Memphis 13. Tennessee with their back to the wall. And they just try to run it out of there with Arian Foster. He got 3 yards. Let's see if Tennessee plays it conservative down here and lets the clock run down and tries to regroup at halftime. There's the man who will make the decision on that.
Wisely watching the clock. I think they'll play to take this ball, take it into halftime. The thing you don't want is a turnover in this situation that would give Memphis an opportunity to put more points on the board.
Oh, that would be disastrous, wouldn't it? They got 2 receivers set out to the right, but you have a feeling they might keep it on the ground. Now Clausen's going to throw it, but it's a safe throw out in the flat to Corey Anderson. And there's what you were talking about earlier. Corey's had a few good plays, but a lot of those types.
Just what we talked about, and that you can attribute a lot of that to lack of concentration.
Minute 9, clock stopped, that much time remaining, so it's a 3rd and 7. Memphis got a chance to get the ball back here. Tennessee can't pick up the first down. They won the delay up the middle, and they got the first down. Arian Foster, nice bit of running that time, got across the 20 to the 21-yard line, and so it will pick up a first down.
A nice play by Foster, a nice call. They're going to run a draw, and he's going to pick up the first down.
Got 6. Jamal Rufus made the stop for the Tigers.
But unfortunately for Tennessee, Arian Foster leaves the ball game holding his right shoulder.
Oh, my. There he is on the sidelines. Back up, so Yancey and Corey Williams. Here's the pass complete out to about the 36-yard line to Robert Meacham, who caught it falling down, but stops the clock with 52 seconds to go while they move the chains. 15-yard pickup.
There you see Robert Meacham was the only, or is the only ball receiver with multiple receptions on this year.
Pass a little high, intended for Meacham. He went up one-handed, tried to bring it down, couldn't do it. Tennessee still got some time. They got 43 seconds. Of course, the incomplete pass stops the clock. Another look at it.
He's working the inside, going to run the seam route and just outside of his outstretched left hand.
Tennessee and Memphis, 18-1 edge in the series in favor of the Vols. But Memphis is not thinking about the past, they're thinking about the present here and trying to pull the upset today. And right now they're leading. 3 receivers to the right, bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. Clausen's going to look to his left and throw out in the flat, trying to get some blocking set up. And there's not much there. Jason Swain, a little bit of yardage, but Tennessee calls a quick timeout, giving them 35 more seconds to go.
Tennessee.
Now it's not a good time to make those decisions because you're in the midst of looking at your recruiting situation. Eric Ainge, number 10, who started this ball game, was ineffective. Rick Clausen, who came on and has had a couple of moments of being effective. All the plays from his position on the sideline as offensive coordinator. He resigned that position. He's still on the staff and working upstairs right now. All right, Tennessee trying to get something mounted, even to try to get into field goal range with 35 seconds to go. See if they try to get it all on one play. Clausen stands back, throws, and it's complete to Jason Swain, who is out of bounds. He got about 6 yards on the pickup. Took 5 seconds off the clock. Jason Swain on the year. He's been one of the more effective receivers. Probably physically the strongest of the receivers. Clausen will operate out of the shotgun. Got 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. They spread the field. Got some protection. Throws. It's complete to Anderson. Anderson still on his feet. The big guy rumbles and rambles down inside the 30 before he's finally knocked down. 22 yards on the pickup and 21 seconds remaining in the first half.
Nice job of protecting by the Tennessee offensive line. Rick Clausen has plenty of time. He throws to Anderson, and this time he brings it home.
Little jump action right there. Clausen. Players around his feet. He gets the pass off once again to Anderson. Anderson is knocked down, but he got positive yardage. 9 seconds to go, and now you call a timeout and make a decision. Got 6 yards on that play. Well, the big guy who looked pretty bad on one pass comes back and looks pretty good on 2 others.
Second timeout.
Looks very good on this play. This ball's thrown behind Corey Anderson, and he does a pirouette and brings this ball home. It's going to be thrown behind him, and you see the athletic ability to get up and around and bring this ball home.
So we've got 9 seconds remaining in the first half. By the way, if you're thinking about basketball, you'll hear from the girl at halftime. And I'm sure, speaking of basketball, that Memphis will be good. They always are. Calipari, they're going to bypass the field goal. Clausen throws. Touchdown, C.J. Payton. Good call. We all made that call, didn't we?
A huge gamble by Philip Fulmer.
Well, what do you got to lose? And it worked.
C.J. Payton working inside, is going to get inside of the defender and takes it right to the checkerboard end zone.
So Tennessee has a chance to go after falling down behind. They have a chance to go into the dressing room with a 1-point lead here on Will Hoyt's extra point. 4 seconds to go in the first half of play. That's the time when the touchdown came from Clausen to Payton. The kick is up there, and it is good. So Tennessee takes the lead, 14-13. And there's a relieved Rick Clausen, who did get something accomplished on that drive. Another look.
Nice protection, good throw. Payton's going to run a good route. Man coverage inside of the DB.
That's what we're talking about, of fighting for the football, reaching for it, going for it, not giving up on it.
Hungry for the football. Not a perfectly thrown pass, but he reaches out and brings it home. And this Tennessee offense, this drive is, we have seen glimpses of this type of offense all year. But then you see that Tennessee offense that sputters, that shoots itself in the foot, that turns the football over. It's just amazing with a minute and a half to go until halftime what this offense was able to do to drive this ball down the field and put it in the end zone.
D'Angelo Williams has not played in the first half, the great running back for Memphis, who leads the nation in rushing, and yet they're still only a point behind. And it appeared that Arian Foster left the game with a little bit of a shoulder problem. We'll try to find out at halftime the extent of that for you, because those could be two big factors in the second half of this football game. Memphis has got time to receive the kickoff, and that will end the first half. Will White will be kicking off with 4 seconds remaining in the first half. Here in Knoxville, the shadows completely cover the field, but not all of the stands right now. It's a short kick, and Memphis will have to fall on it, but really, according to the clock, runs nothing off. So they've still got career as an NFL player. So they just let it run out right here, and that's the end of the first half. So I think it's a pretty good decision on Tommy West's part, if you have any doubts at all about a guy of that caliber. Well, it's been, shall we say, kind of a strange first half. Tennessee's had their moments of being very lethargic on defense. Then they came back and played some pretty good defense. Same thing with the offense. Memphis has fought hard and led right up until the final few seconds. Tennessee 14, Memphis 13 at halftime. You are watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
Lethargic up to that point. His punt return sparked this Tennessee offense, and they're starting to make some progress.
And then you point to people like Kevin Simon and Jason Hall and Paris Harrelson, who all played very well. Well, Bob Kessling had a chance to sit down with the new Tennessee head basketball coach this week, Bruce Pearl, and a preview of the season. Bob?
Coach Pearl, I know you're excited about the start of the season next Friday night against ETSU. Talk about the preseason. How's it gone for your team?
You know, Bob, it's gone well. I like the guys I got. I just wish I had a couple more. I think they've bought in, particularly to the full court pressure defense, 94-foot offense, the intensity with which we want to practice every day. What is challenging is there are some things that I can't do because I don't have a full squad in practice, like more contact drills, which would help our spacing, help our timing. But overall, I'm pretty pleased.
The NCAA changed some rules this year. You were allowed to have more team practices in August. That really helped this team, didn't it?
It helped, and they need to go a step further. You know, I could only work with the guys 8 hours in the preseason, of which now 2 hours are on the court basketball related. That's just not enough time. But it is better than what's been done in the past, and it did give me a chance to get with my team early. You know, they don't care how much you know, so they know how much you care. When I can only spend a very short amount of time with them, I can't show them how much I care. I can't teach them enough, and hopefully we're going to continue to get those rules to get adjusted.
When you took the job at Tennessee, you'd heard about the two guards, Lofton and C.J. Watson. They've lived up to the billing, haven't they?
They have. They're really, really good. C.J. is an excellent point guard, might be one of the best, certainly one of the best in the SEC, might be the best. I think he's improved his outside shooting. I think he's improved his being a floor general. He definitely is benefiting by the 94-foot pace, and we are much better with him on the floor than without him. We need to develop some backcourt depth. And Chris Lofton, he is quick enough to get open. He is strong enough to defend, and he is a great scorer. He's a better scorer than I thought he was, Bob. I knew he's a great shooter, but he can also score in other ways. I'm really, really happy with Chris.
So your guards are set. What about you up front, guys?
Well, you know, Andre Patterson we were without him for 4 weeks, and we've been with him for 4 days. You know, so it's good to get him back, and it's going to certainly give us some depth and some athleticism on the front line. Major Wingate's got to play big for us this year, Bob, and he's capable of it. He's got to go from promise to productivity. Now, whether he does it night in and night out, that's going to determine how successful. But I think Major can play for just about anybody in the SEC at times. It's just his consistency is what's lacking, and his ability to sort of get the ball at 8 feet and get it to 4 instead of getting it 4 and getting pushed out to 8.
Dane Bradshaw's a gamer. He's played number 4, he's played 3, he's played point guard for you. He'll just play, won't he?
You know what, Bob? One of the things I like about this team is that our fans are really happy that Dane Bradshaw's out there. And they like that Stanley Asunu is getting his shot in his senior year. This is a very likable group to coach, and it's because I've got some guys that overachieve. Dane is a terrific leader, and he is versatile. He probably is the only starting power forward that's backing up a point guard anywhere in the country.
Talk about your style, though. It's pressing coming off the bus. It's pressing coming out of timeouts.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to get after people.
It's different, Bob, in the sense that, well, first of all, it's what I've done my whole career. It's what I know. And I always, Hayden Fry said, scratch where it itches. And John Wooden said, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So this is how I do it. But I do like being the aggressor. And I do know that defensively, and for football terms, the quarterback can't throw the ball when he's on his butt. And it's hard to make plays offensively if I'm in your grill. And so we're going to get up and get after people and hopefully be disruptive. If we play that way all the time, if we practice that way all the time, it might bother some of our opponents.
You have won every place you've been. You expect to win here. Do you have a timetable when you think you can be competitive in the SEC and win a championship?
Well, you know what? It's a question that I'll be able to answer sometime later in the season. I don't know what I have. I don't know what I need. And I really don't know how good we are right now. I know we got a long ways to go. We will win here at Tennessee, and we'll win big. It's probably not going to happen right away. But, this team has got a chance to do something that not many teams at Tennessee have a chance to do, and that's overachieve. Expectations are always so high and everything, and that's fine. We want it that way. But this team, if they get the most out, can they give me everything they got? I think I can take that. I think our fans can take that, and we'll see what the results look like.
How have you thought your team reacted to how you coach them? I mean, is this a coachable team? It
is a coachable team, but what I don't know yet is we've not faced any adversity, and we will. They did not respond well to adversity in the past. They kind of laid down a little bit. We've talked about that. It's not a criticism, it's a fact. And how are we going to respond when we get beat, when we get challenged? In the preseason, in the early non-conference schedule, we're going to have to play well to beat East Tennessee State. If we don't play well, we'll get beat. And just like Chattanooga came in and beat us last year, Chattanooga played well, they deserved to win that game. Murray State, Louisiana Lafayette, Eastern Kentucky. You look at that schedule, all those teams are mid-major programs picked near the top of their conference. But this team is capable of beating all those teams on our schedule if we play well and play up to the level of our abilities.
You talk about the tough schedule. You got Oklahoma State, you play at Memphis, you got Texas, but you also have 18 games in the state of Tennessee.
Right.
And one of those is coming up, Murray State in Nashville, which is a big thing. I know you want to play across the state as much
I think
as you
it's
can.
great, Bob. I mean, the fact that we can play in Memphis and Nashville and here in Knoxville, we are the University of Tennessee. It's big orange country everywhere. And I've heard so many very compliments from our fans across the state that really appreciate the fact that we're taking the show on the road a little bit. And the bottom line with the Murray State game up in Nashville, in the OVC country, Murray State's it. They've been it for a long time. Tennessee State, middle when they were there. But Murray State, that's the program that's gone and represented them more in the tournament. They'll bring over a nice crowd. And but that's where the SEC tournament is being played at the end of the year. And it's all about March. Bob, that's what it's all about. It's all about that for this team and for every team that I coach. The fact that the game is going to be in Nashville, that's why I wanted to play a game up there, so that when we go back for the SEC tournament, it'll feel like home.
And there are tickets available for that game at the Gaylord Entertainment Center coming up at the end of the month. Well, you start next week against ETSU, and then the long grind begins. And I guess it's just a matter of, you mentioned trying to get your team to peak toward March. I mean, this is a slow building process, isn't it?
Bob, how much of my success in Milwaukee was due to the fact that I'd coached those kids 3 and 4 years? We won, I think my second year we started winning. We got to the NCAA tournament. The first year was the toughest one because we had so much to learn, so much to turn around, where the roster is what it is and where these guys are learning everything for the first time. This is the year that'll be the most challenging. But if we can do it this year, it also could be one of the most rewarding.
Well, I know people are excited about it all across the state and in the region. You had a good recruiting start, and I know you're excited about the class you're bringing here next year.
Well, I got to tell you, Scott Edgar, Tony Jones did a terrific job. Those are my 2 top assistants. And when it comes to recruiting, they did a phenomenal job, worked real hard. We had opportunity to sell. We had that style of play. We had our success at Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and we had the great tradition of basketball at Tennessee. We had Philip Fulmer and Pat Summit and Vol Walk and this beautiful campus. Every one of the young men that have committed to us, they've got a couple things in common. They're champions, hungry. They wanted to go someplace where they could do it rather than keep it going. They could get it going. And I'm much obliged to them. And those guys will be rewarded for their commitment to the University of Tennessee.
All-Star Stakes Friday. Bruce, good luck to you and the team.
Appreciate it, Bob. Thank you.
Tennessee basketball coach Bruce Pearl with us. Tennessee opens the season next Friday night against East Tennessee State here at Thompson Bowling Arena.
Okay, thanks, Bob and Coach Pearl. There's your halftime score. Tennessee leading 14-13 over Memphis here in Knoxville for Tennessee's homecoming. Well, let's go back to one of the great moments in the history of Tennessee football. Fans are still talking about it, and they always will. The mid-'80s down in New Orleans, a night when they had no chance, everybody said, against a great Miami team. And, of course, they pulled it out. and won one of the great games in Tennessee history. The Sugar Vols, we call them, and Tennessee did a great job in coming back. And so there we see panoramic view of Big Neyland Stadium.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Eric Ainge throwing the ball without getting his feet set, and Brian McDonald comes up with a huge interception and a big spark for the Memphis Tigers. That led to the first Memphis field goal right here, and they go up 3-0 on Tennessee. And the crowd here at Neyland Stadium was quiet for a lot of the first quarter. Here, Memphis in the first half was also making plays. You see Maurice Jones able to make the play on the pass, and here Maurice Avery finds his way to the end zone, and Memphis goes up 10-0. Tennessee needed a spark, and Jonathan Hefney applied that spark with his punt return that really put some life into the Tennessee offense. Here, Josh Briscoe fights for the pass, and Tennessee comes up with his first touchdown. And before the end of the half, the Tennessee offense started to put together a series of plays. They were playing for a field goal, but found themselves in a position to be able to convert. C.J. Payton takes it in the end zone, and Tennessee's offense, although lethargic in most of the first half, is able to put some points on the board and go in leading at halftime.
All right, back to the action, the kickoff. And the second half is underway. Tennessee fighting to get out of a hole down there, and it's not a good start. Kind of bobbled in the end zone, and Tennessee will start with their back to the wall, as they say. But they have been there before. Ainge started this ball game. Clausen has relieved him. And probably the way Clausen played late in that first half, we probably will see him the rest of the way.
I would agree with you. I think Philip Fulmer and the offensive staff really wanted to allow Eric Ainge to be able to have the rest of the football season, but his productivity and his efficiency, they just weren't going to be able to get it done.
First half numbers, 9 of 14, and very effective, especially after he settled down. He came out looking a little shaky himself, but then settled down and played pretty effective. They pitch it back to Foster. He cuts back. There's not much there, maybe a yard. That's about all. Possessions for Tennessee in the first half. Punt, interception, punt, then a couple of touchdowns. As you see, as the half progressed, they did settle down. The defense even went through a span in the first half when they looked a little bit slow and lethargic, but they picked it up as the offense picked it up.
And hats off to Rick Clausen. He's really started to improve as he's been in the ball game. Probably coming into this ball game during the week, he didn't get a whole lot of snaps. Probably most of the snaps went to Eric Ainge.
3 receivers to his left. He throws crossing the middle to Corey Anderson, and he dropped it. Anderson called quick, and they got away from it, let it bounce out of bounds. So Memphis will be pretty close to midfield, in great field position to start the second half. Has been D'Angelo Williams, who leads the nation in rushing, 184 yards per game. There he is not playing. He had a tender ankle coming in. They took over in very good field position at their 47-yard line. First down and 10 to go. Maurice Avery has gone all the way at quarterback for the Tigers.
And Tennessee offensively goes into halftime on a high note. They drive the ball down the field, put it in the end zone, but the first possession of this half, they look lethargic. Not a whole lot going for them.
Avery seemed to be changing the play, pitches inside. They run that play about 3 or 4 times today. A little pitch inside, and Ernest Williams picks up a little bit of yardage on it before he is knocked down hard by Jason Mitchell.
And if I'm Ernest Williams, I go to the sideline and say, hey, listen, I think they know that play is coming. let's not run that play again.
Avery's numbers on the first half, 7 of 15, 83 yards. He also scored one on his own and looked very good athletically on several plays. Early seconds of the third quarter here in Knoxville. Maurice Avery looking, throwing, complete, wide open. Down to the 40-yard line in the third half. Punt, but they had those 2 field goals, then a touchdown, and wound up with Tennessee playing pretty good defense and had to punt, leaving Memphis in good field position. Started about their 47-yard line, and here they are on the Tennessee 39. Avery, a delay to the tailback. Tennessee spins him down. Joseph Doss after down and 7. Avery being rushed, being pursued. He's got good speed. He runs out of bounds, though, without gaining a whole lot. Here comes at the 37 of Tennessee for the Memphis Tigers. They have a chance to become bowl eligible in these final 3 games of the season for them. The snap, Avery stands up and throws, got his man. And a little slap down the side to Ryan Scott, big on the Tennessee 20-yard line with a first down and 10 yards to go to start the second half of play. Avery will operate from the gun. They like to run that reverse, and Tennessee busted it up, waiting for it. They've run it one time too many. Now Tennessee fumbles it, and let's see who comes up with it. Memphis. Tennessee had it, lost it, then Memphis got it back. Wow, what a strange play. This one's going to take a little bit to sort out, but the bottom line is Memphis has got the football, but instead of being on their 20-yard line, they're back now on their own 49 yards.
Good job by Omar Gaither of just blowing up the play. And Paris Harrelson is going to try to pick it up and run with it, and he can't do it successfully, so Memphis is able to recover the football.
So it becomes a 1st and 10 again with the exchange. Tennessee having it, lost it, Memphis getting it back. So it's 9. 10:48 to go in this third quarter of play. Memphis trailing Tennessee by 1. They hand it off, the delay in the middle, and pretty good yardage picked up by Joseph Doss. He crossed from the 49 down to about a 4-yard gain. And something they've really got to work on.
You're right, and Jared Mayo has been lost to a knee injury for the season, and so they're pretty thin once you get below that their starting 3 at linebacker.
There's a good shot of Avery, who has gone all the way at quarterback and has done a good job for Memphis. Looking now to 2nd down and 6. They run the delay once again. It's going to be close to a first down. Looks like he is right on the mark. Kevin.
That delay allows some running lanes inside your defensive ends.
First down and 10 to go for Memphis. Direct snap to the quarterback in shotgun position. This time they pick up only a yard, though, as Doss was hit by Tony McDaniel. Left tackle brought him down. Knoxville. Hard-fought game, and who knows, this one can go anyway, either way, so should go right to the end the way they're playing right now, both teams. 9 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the third quarter. Avery looks to the sidelines, gets a call over there. Has 2 receivers set to the top of your screen, no one to the left, and he runs left. And runs for about 3 yards or so before he is dropped by Antoine Stewart. Look for a delay or maybe a little slant. It's been 2 of their favorite plays when they get in a position like this. He rolls to his right. Tennessee puts the pressure on him. The long throw. Tennessee will break it up, I believe. He caught it, but I think he was out of bounds. Maurice Jones, number 80, was the man intended for. There's a flag back up here at midfield.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Number 2 defense. 15 yards. First down.
Kevin Simon caught for the personal foul. There's the catch, but as you can see, he's out of bounds, and so that would have been a good play for Tennessee. But then you have the personal foul, the 15-yard marker off, the automatic first down. Simon accused of slapping the player, I guess, in the headgear.
And Philip Former knows Kevin Simon is his own worst critic, and he knows what that penalty means to his football team.
Tremendous break for Memphis. A horrible mistake for Tennessee. Avery, they run that delay again, and Tennessee's waiting for it. Knocks him down on the 20-yard line. Tony McDaniel and Robert Ayers were in defensively.
You're going to see Kevin Simon come in and take a shot at Maurice Avery after he's delivered the football. And maybe that's some of the frustration that this defense hasn't shown all year, starting to come out in this ball game.
So it leaves Memphis in great position to take the lead, even with a field goal here. But right now they're thinking touchdown. 2nd down and 9, just a shade inside the 20-yard line. Everybody jumps. Question is who jumped first, and looks like it might have been motion. Bundle up, buddy. Out of the shotgun, Avery being pursued, throws back against the grain. Looking for an opening, got some yardage. John Doucette. Omar Gaither out for the game. Right knee injury, we're told, so Omar Gaither will not be back. Now it becomes a 3rd down and 6. Huge for both the offense and defense right here. Avery will go to the gun. Lob it, timing pattern, incomplete. And so we probably will have a field goal attempt right here. Lead here in Knoxville, 16-14 over the Vols. This is all a very strange sequence here. Fumble, and then another fumble, and Memphis wound up with the football. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Head coach Tommy West of Memphis has seen his Tigers retake the lead here in Knoxville by a score of 16-14, 6:17 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Lucas Taylor has come in to play deep receiver right now for Tennessee on the kickoff, and he's going to back up into the middle of the checkerboard and down it right there, and they'll pull it out to the 20 and go to work, 1st down and 10. Now Tennessee's got their chance to retake the lead, but they've got a long 80 yards ahead of them and an offense that at times, few times has looked very good and at few times has looked very bad. Tigers scoring drive, 8 plays, 34 yards, 3:43 off the clock. 34-yard field goal. And that's where we stand. Tennessee with a solid prediction coming into this, but the odds makers, 18.5, 19-point favorite, some quarters even a little bit more than that. So they're fighting for their life right now. Here was the critical play, or plays, actually 2 and 1, but drove it down and got 3 out of it. Appeared to be a shoulder injury, but we haven't seen him back, so it is Yancey in. Try to find out on the sidelines if they can pick up Foster over there and how he looks, but Yancey, who's a walk-on at Tennessee, is in there. Pass out in the flat, it is complete. Out of bounds with the football is Chris Hannon, short of the 1st down marker. Got 7 yards on it, though.
A nice pickup on 1st down, gives you 2nd and 3, and as a coordinator, that's a nice down and distance. It gives you a lot of options to pick up 1st down.
There's Ainge on the sidelines, who was rather ineffective today, so they had to go to Clausen, and that's where we stand right now. There's Rick. Hand off to Yancey, looking for room, dancing, and got close to the 1st down. It may be close enough to measure. Rick Clausen started the season wearing number 16. Then Peyton Manning came to town. They retired his number, which was 16, of course, while he was at Tennessee. And Rick decided that he'd better go back to number 7. 4.5 yards on the run. It is enough for a 1st down, so it moves the chains. Ball is at the 31, and so that's where Clausen will go to work. Clausen in the offense. One receiver split way out wide to the right here. They run the ball all the way. They run it straight up the middle, and there's nothing.
To pick up the blitzer, allows Rick Clausen to step up in the hole and find C.J. Payton. A nice pickup by David Yancey. And that's one of the things that Trooper Taylor talks about at the running back position. He goes, I know these guys can run with the football, but how good are they in pass protection?
There's 2 out of 6 on 3rd downs, and here they go again. And it's going to be a complete play for a 1st down this time. He got a yard, and that's about what he needed. Maybe a shade beyond, but good hard try by David Yancey to pick up the 1st, and boy, did they ever need that 1st down. There's Trooper Taylor, running back coach here at the University of Tennessee. Trooper said to be an excellent recruiter as well, and so it's a heavy job ahead for he and the staff in the coming weeks. Gonna whistle this one dead. Here they come out this time with 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It is a 2nd and 15 now after the penalty. Delay. They run right up the middle and still fighting for yardage. They're going to say his knee was down back here, apparently around just about where he got the handoff. First ball at the 37-yard line of Tennessee. Dawson has to throw it into a pile of players. It's bouncing around out there. Dangerous. Foster back out there, so whatever shoulder problem he had is not enough to keep him out of the football game. He's back out there. Crossing this time. Kind of a desperation thing. Throws it, and it's incomplete. Threw it at the feet of C.J. Fate. And Memphis is going to have Brandon McDonald back to receive, and probably going to get decent field position on this one, unless Colquitt kicks it into the stands. He gets a boot away. It is a very good kick. Backs McDonald up. Tennessee closing in on him and knocking him down inside the 15-yard line. So a terrific kick that time by Colquitt. Kick of 49 yards by back here in Knoxville on a great day for football. Been a beautiful day in East Tennessee. And we've still got a football game, and I have a feeling it's going to go till the final whistle. Vols must win all 3 remaining games to keep 16-year bowl streak alive. And right now it is hanging by a thread. Memphis leading 16-14, and they've got the football. They run it up the middle this time, and
I think they would become bowl eligible with 6 wins, but I don't think a 6-5 Memphis team is guaranteed an invitation to a bowl game. I think a 6-5 Tennessee team is almost guaranteed an invitation to a bowl game. So Memphis really needs to win the remainder of their ball games, including this one.
Well, one more at home. Here's the cutback. Nice bit of running that time up across the 25 to about Fever due to injuries. Wound up playing quarterback, the 4th man to play that position this year for Memphis. They run the delay again. Again, they bounce it outside and get a little bit of yardage. Omar Gaither, for the umpteenth time today, is in on the tackle of James Doss.
And that's the same Omar Gaither that we said we wouldn't see.
Yep. The same
Again
one
in
they
this
said
ball game.
Probably through for the day. Omar is a senior, and he is not through. There's the great D'Angelo Williams, who's still watching from the sidelines. They decided not to take a chance because of kind of tweaked ankle against UAB last week. Held out of practice a day or two, then did practice, and they just didn't feel comfortable playing him today and taking that chance. 2nd down and 9 for Memphis. Avery out of the gun. Got plenty of time. Still got time. Races out to his right now. It's a little bit of pressure and throws it into the ground. Incomplete. Intended for Avery is a senior, by the way. Stands back there in the shotgun. Gets a little pressure, but gets it away too high. Tennessee had it covered pretty well, but threw it too high for both the defender and the receiver. Maurice. And you never know. They have a chance to get really great field position with a great return.
And it was Jonathan Hefney who sparked the Tennessee offense in the first half with a great punt return.
Gibson will stand at his 15-yard line to kick. Hefney has the big play ability. First thing coaches teach in Tennessee, though, is catch the football. And he is going to come up and catch it and go down immediately in his tracks. But it's on about the 32 or 3-yard line, so Tennessee will start off fairly decent. It's a 40-yard kick. Tennessee trailing Memphis 16-14. You are watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. On Classic. Threw it away, I assume, because Robert Mitchell was 10 yards downfield further than the pass landed. So stops the clock with 11 seconds to go.
Game 9 of this football season, I think that's still
the question.
The question is, who is the quarterback for the University of Tennessee?
Ball is snapped on the ground, and Lawson has to reach down and fall on it. And then Memphis falls on him, so that kind of says a lot about Tennessee's season right there on that play, and that reaction by Philip Fulmer tells you all you need to know about what kind of year it's been.
A normally well-composed Philip Fulmer is starting to show some of the frustration that he's feeling about the way his team has played throughout this football season.
We'll take a break as we end 3/4 of play in Knoxville. Tennessee 14, Memphis 16. You're watching college football on CSS. All right, one more quarter of football in Knoxville. Tennessee finds themselves behind by 2 points. And right now, they're looking at a 3rd and 15 to start this quarter. They're 3 for 8 on 3rd downs in this ball game. Clausen's got 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Got to go downfield at least 15 yards for this one. He's going down all right, but it's not downfield. Carlton Baker was the man who got in on him first.
He's going to get tied up with Albert Towina, the right tackle, and not even had a chance of making the play downfield.
Another look at it, you'll see the problems that Clausen encountered right here.
Gets feet tangled up with Albert Towina and goes down.
They've got to kick. Colquitt is going to give Memphis maybe a chance for good field position. He gets a kick away. It's a nice one. It's taken by Memphis and nowhere to go. Flags fly over here on the side. We saw the field judge toss one. Seconds to go for Tennessee to try to pull out a homecoming win over a heavy underdog Memphis, and a chance for Memphis to win their 2nd game in history over the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee leads the series 18-1, but Memphis has led a good part of this football game. Right now they have the ball. Tennessee's really struggling and sputtering on offense, so it's up to the defense to try to maybe come up with a big play here. Avery being chased. Runs to his right, still running, and finally throws incomplete behind everybody, just really trying to get rid of the football and not take a big loss. Taz Knockham was the man in the neighborhood. Terrence, let's take a look at the 3rd quarter stats. After you look at them, you still see Memphis leading.
The thing that's glaring there is the time of possession. 28 minutes to 16 minutes. In the second half, Tennessee's offense just hadn't been on the field. There have been a lot of 3 and outs for the Tennessee offense in the second half.
Well, that is staggering, that stat. Here's a cutback. Tennessee defense this time smothers him. Tony McDaniel all over Doss. In fact, he lost a yard.
The great thing for Tennessee, though, is the defense is going to have to, like you said, keep them in this football game. And if you're Tennessee, your defense plays really well. All you need is a field goal, and then for your defense to take a stand, and you can win this ball game.
3rd down, 11 now to go. There's Johnny Chavis, the defensive coordinator, trying to encourage his troops to hold and force the Tigers to punt. Avery wants to throw, throws it out in the flat, incomplete. Intended for Robinson, but a little bit behind him that time. So the Tigers will have to turn it over to Tennessee. That's good news for Tennessee. The bad news is they get the football, and they haven't been able to do anything offensively.
Avery had plenty of time to throw the football, just throws it behind, but still wouldn't have picked up the 1st down.
Tennessee's going to use 2 men back this time. Austin Rogers is back there with Jonathan Hefney. Austin Rogers is a receiver, a youngster out of the Nashville area. Snap is good. Steps to his right and kicks it away. And Tennessee kind of gets away from it wisely and lets it go out of bounds. Rogers decided not to try to field that, and that was a good decision on his part. 43-yard punt with no return. 13-10 remaining. There's a timeout. Memphis 16, Tennessee 14. Watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Back here in Knoxville, there's the scoreboard. Tennessee trailing by 2. Arian Foster is in at tailback now. Clausen remains the quarterback. And Tennessee takes over on the 30-yard line, their own 30. Needing at least a field goal to take the lead.
Lawson hands off to Foster. Foster dances around. Yeah, it turns nothing into a little something. He got 4 yards out of what looked like would be 0. Spurlock, Michael Spurlock, linebacker on the inside, made the stop that time. There's Arian.
Nice cut by Arian Foster. Shows really good agility. As you said, it looks like he's going to be stopped for a loss, but able to cut back and pick up the first down.
I'm not sure you're going to get it.
I'm sorry, second down.
Not sure you're going to get it on the ground done, but with only 12 minutes to go, but they're going to stay on the ground right here. And there's what I'm talking about. Tim Goodwill made the stop.
Turning it over.
Foster leaves the field right now. Tennessee facing a 3rd and 9. They'll operate out of the shotgun, and you got to throw it. Memphis knows that. They do throw it. Got away with it, and got a big play out of it to C.J. Bateman, who has a touchdown pass here today. C.J. goes off limping now after being hit by Michael Spurlock. He got 16 yards, though, and he moved the chains. Seems to be in some pain as he goes to the sidelines. Probably an ankle the way he was walking.
A nice job by C.J. Fading of catching the ball and then finding the lane and getting straight upfield for the first down. I can't see where his injury came in at, but
there he is, limping, but not that badly. Trying to walk it off, as a matter of fact. Might even see him again. 2 receivers left, one to the right. They run the delay in the middle. Bounce it outside. And it's going to be close to another first down for Tennessee. Arian Foster got about 10, it appears. Jamal Rufus made the stop for Memphis. It is going to move the chains again. Let's take another look. A good running here. Watch him dance around.
Nice job, as you said, of scraping down the line and finding a lane and picking up a nice 10 yards.
Turned nothing really into 10 yards. 11:02 to go. Clock running. Tennessee trailing Memphis 16-14. Homecoming for the Vols. Got to keep winning to get in the bowl game. They fake it to the tailback. They throw down the sideline, complete. Nice throw by Clausen. Beautiful throw to Robert Meacham. 23-yard strike. Wow, that was one of the best passes I've seen Clausen throw in his years here at Tennessee.
Nice
it's a rope.
Play action, and he, as you said, he throws this on a rope, and Robert Meacham does a good job of losing the defender. They're in man coverage. He runs a deep comeback and does a good job of losing the defender.
First down and 10 to go. Tennessee at least getting in field goal range right now, but thinking touchdown. Trailing Memphis by 2. Ball on the 20-yard line. First down and 10. And closer to the 19. They go in the corner for Chris Hannon, trying to get it over the back of the defender and bring it in right on the in line over there, but couldn't quite do it. Jamal Rufus, look.
One-on-one outside with Chris Hannon, and just too far outside.
Ball is close to the 19-yard line. Second down and 10. Second and 10. Thing you here don't want to do is lose any yardage.
Lose any yardage, and you definitely don't want a turnover.
Yes, sir. They give it off to Foster. Foster is looking for something, and there's not anything there. He's going to be driven down. But the expectations for this team were so high. Number 3 in the nation, picked to win the SEC, and many, many bad things have happened. There's timeout by Tennessee with 10:05 remaining in the contest. Still anybody's ball game. Memphis, though, leading right now 16-14. But that might be the man to go to. But Memphis knows that too. They're 4 for 10 on third down. Clausen under center. Back. Got time. Now time's running out. Gonna have to run and throw on the run. It's complete. Down to the 10-yard line. It's going to be close. Not quite a first down. Arian Foster stumbling and falling. He might have gotten the first if he kept his feet. He would have, but he did not, and he's going to come up at least a yard, maybe 2 yards short of a first down. Now, what do you do? You have to kick it.
They're going to kick it. That's the season in a nutshell for Tennessee.
First down, maybe more, who knows, but stumbling and falling.
Clausen did a good job of keeping the play alive, and Arian Foster just loses his footing.
It'll be a 28-yard effort by Will Hoyt to take the lead, but we've still got 9:17 to go in this football game. The snap, it's clean, it's good, it's up, and the kick is good. Tennessee takes the lead, 17-16. Oh, what a day here in Knoxville. A touchdown there might have put it away, but I'll tell you what, Memphis is very capable of moving right back downfield and either kicking a field goal or getting on the scoreboard with a touchdown. So this one, with 9 minutes, 6 seconds, is far from over. The kick, it's clean and good all the way by Will Hoyt. Reaction of the head coach.
He breathes a sigh of relief.
Yeah. He's thinking, I wanted a touchdown, but I'll take that.
A touchdown really puts you in a good situation.
Here's another score.
Tennessee with a 1-point lead, 9 minutes, 6 seconds to go in the contest here in Knoxville. One more home game for the Vols against Vanderbilt. And then the final against Kentucky, their oldest rival, up in Lexington to end the season. They got to win them all if they want to be bowl eligible. 9 plays, 59 yards, took 4:04 off the clock. Will Hoyt 28 yards out for the go-ahead score. Tennessee trying to win these final 3 and take away a bit, just a tiny bit of the frustration of this year.
And you talked about earlier Tennessee's record at this point in the season. What they do in November is astonishing, but Memphis, Vanderbilt, and Kentucky are still difficult ball games for Tennessee.
You bet they are. Cutler is a really outstanding quarterback that we're facing next week. Here's the kick. It's going to be down to and into the checkerboard. And Memphis will not even attempt to bring it out of there. Wisely, it'll be put on the 20-yard line where they'll go to work, trailing now by 1 point, 17-16.
For Tennessee today offensively, big plays have really created momentum for their offense, and that's one of the big plays on that drive. The throw to Robert Meacham allows Tennessee to put 3 points on the board.
Tennessee, since 1985, in a November situation. Tennessee smothers the ball carrier this time. There's nothing there. In fact, they lost a yard. A little more life we're seeing there on the defense, led by Marvin Mitchell, hitting Joseph Dawson. I tell you what, Mitchell and Simon have really been outstanding. Harrelson and Hall have played well. Omar Gaither.
That
Some guys have really stood out today.
Shovel pass, and Marvin Mitchell said, "Welcome to Knoxville, Joseph Dawson."
No more shovel. 2nd down and 10. Avery back, and quickly a whistle blows. A flag is down, and it looks like movement on the part of Memphis, which is probably going to cost them 5 right here. At least that's our assessment. Let's see if he agrees.
Start. 83. Offense. 5 yards. 2nd down.
Tommy West a little disgusted with that. Ryan Scott was the man who moved a little early that time, and it cost him back to the 15-yard line. Makes it 2nd down, but this time 15 yards to go for a first.
And probably a good thing for Memphis, because Omar Gaither was making a beeline to Mari Savory. He was coming on a blitz, making a beeline to the quarterback.
Penalties on the day. Memphis 6 for 45. Tennessee 4 for 40. Avery in the shotgun. Should be pass all the way. And Tennessee gets to him and makes him throw it off the mark. Jesse Mahalona was all over him that time, and he had to get rid of it.
Memphis has had success with Mari Savory, putting him out on the edges, rolling him out, throwing the football. They've decided in the second half to keep him inside the pocket, and the pressure is getting to him. He's just not comfortable. He's not a pocket passer.
Remarkable thing again. There's the 3rd down situations about Memphis is there in this ball game without their best player, D'Angelo Williams. It's a 3rd and 15. They're going to send a lot of people downfield this time, and Tennessee knows that. Tennessee they're backing off on the blitz. They're trying to cover everybody, keep him in the pocket, and they do. They kept him contained. He got 3 yards, but he needed a lot more. Omar Gaither, Jason Hall, 2 real stalwarts today defensively for Tennessee. Brings up a 4th down and 11.
And a good stand by John Chavis's defense. Nothing from Maurice Avery. I think it's a quarterback run by design, and the defense really bows his back.
That was a great call, really, because he could have thrown, they could have run. So Chavis just said, I'm not blitzing. I'm going to sit back, try to contain him. And that's what they did. And now Tennessee has a chance. There's Chavis. Tennessee has a chance to get in good field position. Austin Rogers, Jonathan Hepney are deep to receive the punt. Hunter is standing here on about his 5-yard line and takes the step to the right as they normally do, and it's fielded by Tennessee on a fair catch by Jonathan Hepney. Good move that time. Tennessee takes over in a good spot on the 46-yard line, 35-yard punt. So Clausen and company go to work now.
Great job.
6:56 to go in this football game. College football game day kicks off with Eastern football today, Saturday at 11. Heisman Trophy winner Gino Torretta, former Tennessee Vol Bubba Miller, and host Frank Franchi preview top ACC and SEC matchups. Hey, don't miss it. Bubba Burger. All right.
That sounds pretty good right now.
Yes, it does. Clausen into center. Gives it off to his tailback, Foster. Foster got some running room, still fighting across midfield. Tim Goodwell made the stop of Foster, but he picked up a little yardage. And Tennessee probably will do a lot of running at this stage, wouldn't you think, Terrence?
I would agree with you. Chew up the clock, keep the ball on the ground, but the one thing you want is you want Arian Foster to protect the football.
Hold on to the pigskin is what Tennessee coaches are saying, and Memphis guys are saying take it away, snatch at that ball, grab at it every chance you get.
And you know they're going to be doing that, so if you're Arian Foster, when you're in traffic, you put 2 hands on the football.
6:17, clock ticking. Clausen going to probably bleed the clock as much as he can on this series. 2nd down, they need about 4 for a first. Foster goes straight ahead, dances a little bit outside, and gets close to a 1st down. I think he may be just a few inches short. So it's 2nd down and not much to go.
And you may see a quarterback sneak here by Rick Clausen.
Correction, I said 2nd, it's 3rd down. In the half, the yardage situation on your screen right there, pretty even. So it's 3rd down. They need at least a half a yard for a first. Foster will, I don't know. Depends on the spot.
It looks like it's gonna be close.
I'm not sure he made it, to be honest with you. I think he might be a few inches shy. So then, what on earth do you call here? You can't give him the ball in midfield or close to it.
I punt the football. If I'm Tennessee, I punt it. I tell Britton Colquitt to aim to the sideline in between the goal line and the 10-yard line. In great field position, all they need to do is drive and kick a field goal.
Wow, he missed it by 6 inches. All right, it's decision time.
And be careful, Tennessee may try to draw the Memphis defense off sides.
It's 4th down, roughly 6 inches. I would say roughly 6 inches to go for a 1st down, and Tennessee apparently is going to go for it. But you're right, Terrence. If they fail to make it, 2 plays and they're in field goal range. We've got 4:48 to go in this contest. Do you go with Foster? Do you go with your fullback? Do you sneak it? They sneak it, and I think he got it. Rick Clausen. It appears to be a 1st down, and so Tennessee really gets away with one right there. Looked like Rich Gandy might have been the key blocker there. Let's see.
You're right. The left tackle there, the left guard create a lane for Rick Clausen to fall forward.
Yeah, Gandy drive blocking that time. Aaron Sears limping off the field. Looks like maybe one of those situations where you either have an ankle. It's Eric Young coming in for him. He either got stepped on the foot or twisted the ankle just a bit. And you can sure get stepped on in plays like that, Terrence.
Yes, you can.
Know. 4:25 remaining in the contest. Tennessee up by 1 point and having to quarterback sneak to keep this drive alive. Now they want to kill as much clock as possible, I would think. Keep Foster from getting outside, certainly. Whatever it is, there's no penalty. Clausen hands it off to Foster. Foster cuts back, gets a couple of yards down to the 40-yard line.
In between the tackles.
Trooper Taylor should perhaps talk to him about that. There's the handoff to Aaron. This time he's going to bounce outside, and he's going to be close to first down. He's fighting. I think he got it on that second, third effort. O.C. Collins rode him down, but man, did he ever put on a great effort at the end there. A burst. He could have gone down, but
there's no question about Aaron Foster's running ability. The problem with him has been turning over the football, and you see right there the ball out from away from his body on a couple of occasions.
Yes, you're right about that. 3:26 remaining in the game. Memphis 16, Tennessee 17. Tennessee with the football in Memphis territory at the 32-yard line. Trying to run the football here and kill as much clock as possible. Foster gets the call again, bounces outside, goes down the sidelines, going to be run out of bounds just short of the first down by O.C. Collins, left cornerback.
Nice job of blocking by the offensive line. You see the right tackle or right guard there, Cody Douglas, creates a lane for Arian Foster. I think the one bright spot in this disappointing season has been the emergence of Arian Foster after the injury of Gerald Riggs. I think one thing going into next season that Tennessee will know is who their starting tailback will be.
Tennessee has used almost 4 minutes now on this drive since taking over with 6:56 to go in the ball game. We're down now to just over the 3-minute mark. So they're eating up some ground on the ground here, eating up time, and they run. There's the current Tennessee drive, 8 plays. And the first down here comes real close to turning out the lights. I believe I'd sneak it. Terrence, what would you do?
It looks like, based on their set, that that's what they're going to do.
Clausen under at quarterback, got some beef in front of him, and he does ram it head first in there, and I believe behind the 320 and 30-pound lineman, he's got it. Rob Smith, Cody Douglas, Albert Tawina are the men up there on that side where he went.
You're going to see Rick Clausen, as you said, lean and follow the right side of that offensive line.
Another look at it.
Good push by Tawina, good push by Cody Douglas. Allows Rick Clausen to fall forward, and a little extra help at the end by the tight end Chris Brown.
So it's first down and 10 to go for Tennessee with 2 minutes and 21 seconds remaining. Memphis has got 2 timeouts left. They had called one here just a moment ago, and they've gone. Killed the clock time for Tennessee. 2:21 to go. Need another first down. They hand it off to Foster, who comes bouncing outside. And the flag goes down, and he's run out of bounds at about the 17-yard line by Brandon McDonald, but a flag was dropped in the backfield.
Number 45.
He was the guilty party. Corey Anderson.
10-yard penalty. Replay.
Number 45. That's a question. Minute 52. The clock continues to run, which is certainly in Tennessee's favor right here. They hand it off straight up the gut. They go, and it is Arian Foster ahead for a yard or so, but.
And then you take into account that the fact that there may be some coaching changes, that's also going to affect your recruiting.
I bet it is.
When the focus should be on just recruiting after the football season.
Yeah, they came in here with an 18-1 mark against Memphis, and they're hanging on for dear life. So don't pay any attention to that graphic, because it's not the year that you can watch what happened in the past and predict anything. Crossing is spun down way back here on the 37 or 8 yard line by Carlton Bates. I don't know that you got many things in your playbook for 3rd and 27.
I don't either. I think if you're Tennessee, you give the ball to Arian Foster, you tell him to secure the football, and then you turn around and punt it to Memphis and tell your defense to win the ball game.
If you put it in the air, you're really gambling.
I would agree.
Old saying on a pass, out of 3 things, 2 bad things can happen. All right, we've got 1:36 of football remaining here in Neyland Stadium on homecoming for the Vols. It's been, for the old grads, an interesting weekend. Wow. 3rd and 27. You run it, just killed some clock, or you try to go deep, take a chance. We're going to run it. Foster's coming outside. He's got a lot of room. He's still on his feet. He's still fighting. He's going to be well short of a first down, but he picked up good yardage, and he stayed in bounds. The clock is still running. 1:19 and ticking away. There's Philip Fulmer. This is a big play right here, Terrence.
Huge play by Arian Foster. Sees the cutback, still making people miss, still fighting to try to pick up the first down. Huge play by Arian Foster. I don't know what the question is here for Tennessee.
21-yard pickup.
But I checked that. I think they're trying to run as much time off the clock as they can.
And they stop it with 46 seconds to go.
But a big play by Arian Foster.
46 seconds remaining. Tennessee 17, Memphis 16. It's been a wild ride here today. We have seen some good football, and we've seen some not so good football on both sides.
And that was a big play by Arian Foster, because if you're Tennessee, you're thinking you're well out of field goal range, and his run is going to give James Wilhoit a nice shot at a 3-point field goal.
What scares you to death here if you're a Tennessee coach right now or fan is getting it blocked. The Tennessee's offensive line is so big, it's going to be very difficult to get through that massive humanity for the block. It'll be about a 34-yard effort. It means Memphis would have to score a touchdown to win it. A field goal would not do it. Tennessee would go up by 4. It will be roughly 34. We'll say that. Miracle. He's been key in some others. It's going to be a 34-yard effort. There's no wind at all. 0. The hold is down. It's good. The kick is up. Is it good? Yes, it is. And James Wilhoit has stretched the lead to 4. 20-16. Tennessee with 41 seconds to go. Is that enough time? Yes, it is.
It is.
Memphis will have to score a touchdown. A field goal will do them no good. So the kickoff is big here. Does he get it into the checkerboard? Woods put it down nicely. The hold was good, the snap was good, and the kick was good.
And Wilhoit knew right away that it was good.
Right down the old Central Pike. And a nice round of applause from the head coach. Tommy West reacts. Well, Tommy's a cool customer.
And if you're Tennessee, football games but seconds by Maurice Avery.
From the 20 out to the 42-yard line. 31 seconds to go in the contest. Tennessee up by 4. It takes a Memphis touchdown to win it for the Tigers. Avery out of the shotgun. Tennessee rushing him. Still on his feet and throwing incomplete. Not much ran off the clock, still 24 seconds to go. Antonio McCoy was the man in the neighborhood, but never had a chance to complete that one.
Nice job by the Tennessee secondary of not allowing Maurice Avery to find an open lane to throw the football.
Memphis at Southern Miss, and then wraps it up at home against Marshall. So 2 tough games for them still remaining. They'll operate in the shotgun. Avery got in pressure. Throws complete. Tennessee closing down on him and will stop him. And the clock will keep running with 14 seconds. 12.
They have one timeout left. They're going to try to get on and spike the ball, but they're not moving quick enough.
Well, that was kind of a useless play there because you're going to waste your time out now.
Right.
You can't do anything with it.
No, you almost have to throw a Hail Mary now.
4 seconds remaining. Jesse Mahalona is down. So the training staff is out working on Big Jesse. He's down right at midfield. Hopefully it's nothing more than having maybe the wind knocked out of him. Big guys played hard today. Boy, there's a couple of guys that earned some kind of bronze medal maybe for picking him up. Tennessee's remaining schedule: Vanderbilt here and then at Kentucky. Vanderbilt game appears to be a 12:30 kickoff Eastern time. Kentucky is unsure. They'll probably announce that Monday when the Kentucky game starting time will be on that game. All right, it comes down to one play. Memphis with one more shot. Tennessee wins it if they keep him out of the end zone. Avery being pressured, got time, rolls, got hit as he threw. It's up for grabs. It's going to be still up in the air. They're fighting for it. Clock shows no more time, and it's all over. Wow, what a finish. Only thing he could do, throw it up for grabs. Tennessee's coach congratulates Avery. Tommy West and Philip Fulmer meet at midfield. They're old friends. Remember, Tommy coached here at Tennessee for a year. He also head coach at Clemson and UT Chattanooga. Now he's at Memphis and doing a good job. The team came in here and played their heart out today. Tennessee fought hard to come from behind and win this football game, and they do. Tennessee wins it 20-60. Well, it's been a win for the old grads who came back for homecoming. We'll have some final comments. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
Home against